A week ago, I dropped a video on validating your build so you never have a broken game again. And so many commented on how helpful it was that I decided to reward everyone and drop an extension to that video. So in this video, we will look at scene-wide validation methods, methods unrelated to any one particular behavior, but more around the scene as its entirety. And if you liked the last video, I can guarantee that you might like this one as well. So let me start with a concrete example of something you might want to do in your scenes for validation. Let's say we have audio sources scattered throughout our scene. Maybe the train rolls in and we have an audio for that, or a zombie trips on something. Now, we want our audio sources to be associated with a mixer because we're not reckless with our lives. But how do we make sure that one has a mixer assigned? Well, we could add a component alongside every single audio source, but that's way too much work and we might forget to do it. We could write a menu item that checks all of our audio sources whenever we want to. Well, we still have to remember to press that, so maybe no for this one. So now we have a concrete example. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane and remind ourselves from the last video what we added. Well, we had a IProcessSceneWithReport interface, we put that on our class, and that registered with Unity to check it with every scene. And we also added a process to add an isValidate interface to every component. This would allow the onValidate method to basically set whether that component was valid or not. But let's take a look at that onProcess scene. You see, it gives us each scene in turn. So we can use this to do anything we want without having to look at the onValidate of components. Now let's do our example. We have our audio sources and we want to know if they have mixers. Now we can create a method that takes a scene. Using that scene, we get the root game objects, and then we use those to get all the audio source components throughout the children. Now we simply check if the audio source mixer group equals null. And if it does, well, we log an error and we return false. Otherwise, we return true. Now, we have a choice here, and I've chosen to jump out as soon as I find an audio source that doesn't have a mixer, but I'll let you decide if you want to error out with every mixer of that scene and then stop the build in process. The choice is completely up to you. Now, the last thing to do is add a check to our if statement above, and we're ready to check in with Unity and see how we've done. We will add an audio source to our monster here, which you can find in the Unity Asset Store as well as the environment it's living in here. And I'll leave links in the description if you want to go get them. They might be on sale at the moment. Everything seems to be on sale at some point in Unity. Now, what you'll notice is that when we added our audio source, we didn't set a mixer because we're trying to test what we just done. Now, running a build, we see our error pop up. Great. We can fill in our mixer. And now if we run a build, you can see we get no errors and the build succeeds. But why stop there? If you are this far into the video, think about what you would validate and leave a comment below, and prepare for the bonus round. You see, we don't want to keep piling onto our if statement with new scene-wide validations. That doesn't make much sense, and it's not very tidy. Instead, we will create an interface called scene build validation procedure, with a single method called validate, and that will take in a scene. Now let's extract the meat of our audio validation method and put it into a class that uses this new interface. You see where I'm going yet? Well, now we're going to write a method for getting all these procedures and running it. You see, Unity already does this sort of thing with that process scene with report, and we're basically copying that method. You see, first we're going to search all our assemblies to get the types that use this interface. Let's run through the code. We get all the assemblies, run through them using a link statement to pull out the types with the interface, and we'll add all that to a list. Now we store this list for all the procedures because we don't want to do it every time we go into a new scene to check. Now back to the running of the procedures. We'll use this list of types to create an instance of the class to run validate method. Nice and easy, right? Of course, we need to pop back to where it all begins and swap out our previous audio validation check to instead run our procedure method. And hey presto, if we pop back into our scene and clear the mixer, we get an error message. And we can now spend the next day writing methods for all the scene validation we want to do and sit back and relax, as we don't have a queue of designers, artists, and gameplay developers asking us why their scene is broken and won't build correctly. And while you're sitting back, relaxing, let me present to you another tools video on screen for your viewing pleasure.